This has been life-changing. I'm heartbroken. My mic was unlocked or on, but my wow. I'm an idiot. No, I was literally just talking for the last 11 minutes. Today's not my day. How are 8 people watching and they couldn't even hear what I was saying? That's my question. Oh, I'm so pissed. Okay, wow. I'm not even gonna re-go. Everything I said in the last 11 minutes is honestly irrelevant, so we'll just pretend like that did not happen, and that's great. That just completely destroyed the vibe. What was I talking about? I was talking to myself this whole time about social media and thumbnails and making content and how less is more and simplicity is the key. I'm ashamed. I came late and thought you were talking about the mic not being on. Hi, Phil. Well, I was, because Pasa, is that Paso? Peso? Is that how you say your username? I don't know. Informed me that my username was not, or not my username, my mic wasn't on. Anyways, at least I haven't gotten to the actual topic, so that's good. The main topic is something that I want to talk about. It's basically what we did yesterday down in Oceanside. Good to make it to one of these live sessions. I know, I'm glad you're here. Thank you for being here. Why does everyone call me Peso? I'm Paso. Well, it's because of the A, which technically, I guess, depending on the vowel, the way you pronounce vowels, it kind of depends, but it's either going to be, I'm sorry, Lasso, Paso. See, I said it wrong the second time, too. I said Paso. Paso. Peso. I'm sorry. Anyways, welcome, Paso. That's going to be a problem. Thanks for being here. I don't know how you found me on Twitch, but congratulations on making it. Now I have to convert you to Rumble. I'm missing Will and I'm missing Scunter. They always comment, they always join, and I don't know where they are, and I'm kind of shocked. They're in charge of my organization skills, because guess who doesn't have those? Me. And honestly, if they had been here... Oh, you followed me years ago? I'm sorry. I'm stupid. Today's not my day, clearly. So, it's a rough one, but I want to actually stick to a topic, because something that I did talk about earlier, like 5 seconds ago, was about how... First off, thank you, Paso. 3 years ago? Wow. Wow, you're like a OG. Are you in the Discord? I hope you're in the Discord. You better be in the Discord. There's no way for me to comment. I'll have to get them to do it. If you're not in the Discord, you better make sure you join. Mainly because, oh my gosh. Let's see. Let me find... Honestly, that's so goofy that it doesn't let me have a... Well, we'll get you the link by the end of the stream, I promise. Hello, everybody on Rumble. Welcome. Thank you for being here after my microphone is on. That's just crazy. So I titled this stream, Is California Turning Red? Not because I'm genuinely convinced it's turning red. However, the majority of things and the stereotypes you see about California could possibly be true in some areas. Although we went and did a bunch of street content yesterday because I wanted to dip my toe into that, and I'm preparing to do more of it this summer. And I think that, I don't know, summer is the most fun time to go out to the beach or go to LA or go to Oceanside and talk to people because everybody's out. And we all know that San Diego and that whole area is typically more red than LA. And we'll talk more about my trip to LA in a minute, because that was a whole thing within itself. But San Diego is predominantly more right-leaning, I guess. It's still California, so I will say that. but I think, and I'm not well versed on the different Congress districts in California like I am in Texas. Those make way more sense to me than the ones here in California. And that's maybe just because the map is all jumbled up. I mean, I could try to like pull it up. California Congress districts, or even like the House representative districts. This map I tried to pull up on my laptop and it clearly didn't work. But let's see. It's cold in here. So I'm not sure. Obviously there's more in California than there are Texas, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. Ooh. And they get all jumbled up near LA and up near San Francisco as well. Obviously because the city, so like the district that I'm in is humongous. It's like a good part of the state. View full details. Now I want to know why this map doesn't show me like Republican versus Democrat. It's just all like blue. There's 52. Nope. Is that right? 52 maybe? Who knows? We're going to zoom in real quick. So like the area that Oceanside is in is technically considered CD 49. And it tells you nothing. It tells you nothing about it. That's awesome. But like the people, I'm going to go ahead and assume that they're Democrat. I know that our representative in our district is Republican, so that's cool. Mike Levin. Is he Republican? Or is he not Republican? Let's check. So that goes all the way from Oceanside. No. Encinitas, which, I've got some tea about Encinitas. I think that's how you pronounce it. All the way up to San Clemente. This doesn't tell me anything. He got into Congress in 1978. Let's see. Mike. It's gonna tell me right away if he's Republican. He looks like a Democrat. He is. What a guy. Okay, well, you're a loser. He's Democrat. He went to Duke and Stanford. Okay, we don't need the backstory on this guy. Either way, that's one of my only other favorite parts of California, so I just thought maybe it would be a little bit more red. But it is highly more red than LA. And so we went down to Oceanside and I asked people 2 questions, and one of them was, are you pro-America, pro-Israel, or pro-Palestine? And the other one was, since June is coming up and everybody knows June is Pride Month, do you want to see more or less of Pride Month in stores? And let me tell you, my little handy dandy microphone is great when it works, but turns out it died when I was doing the last 3 interviews with really great people who gave really great answers. And I went and watched back the videos and I was so upset because I realized that the audio just didn't get picked up. In the editing software that I use, there's an option where you can isolate the voice and make it sound better. And it was like, okay, but the problem with that is I wasn't going to pay $10 just to do that. Yeah, so that was that was really sad, to be honest. These people I'm talking gave like really great answers to the questions, and we actually sparked like a discussion. And I'm not going to lie, the majority of people that we talked to yesterday were pro-America. They were Christian, and they were against Pride Month, or they didn't want to see more of Pride Month because they understood. And like, I wasn't just seeking out random people. I was trying to find all types of people, all different demographics, age, all of that, because I wanted to hear like more older people's opinions on Pride Month, because I know what our generation is typically like. Although I will say that there were like 3 or 4 people that we talked to that I stereotyped, not publicly, but just like assumed how they were going to answer. And then they completely shocked me. And I'm not even kidding. The majority of them were pro-America. The majority of them were anti-gay or like anti-Pride Month. They didn't want to see, they were tired of it. And I can imagine being in California, living in California, how tired you must be of seeing it everywhere. Now, what I'm hoping to do is this weekend, maybe, possibly, going to Palm Springs, because Palm Springs is like one of the gay capitals of California. We all know San Francisco is the gay capital. We don't want to go there. Like, I'm so scared of going there. Although I do have something to say about San Francisco in a minute. Palm Springs seems to be like a pretty reasonable type of area to go. So I'm excited to hopefully go on the strip in like downtown Palm Springs and talk to a few people. We'll see how that will go. I'll have like this weekend, and then next weekend we go to Texas, and so that'll be fun. Speaking of San Francisco, I've always wanted to go up to Northern California. I am going to go there. Like, we are planning to visit there sometime before we leave California. And basically, I just saw that Trump announced that he was going to be doing a fundraiser in San Francisco. And guess when he's doing it? He's doing it in June. I don't know the day yet, but there's like certain days that I literally will not be here, that I literally can't go. And the one thing that I wanted while I was living in California was for Trump to come to California. And why would I not, in a realistic situation, go up to Northern California to, one, see this, and two, finally see what I want to see? So I'm upset. I am so sad that the one time, I mean, what are the odds? Literally, what are the odds? The one time that I wanted to go up there and do that, I don't even get to be there for it. It's literally a shame. But I really like, I think some of my friends are coming to California in July, and I'll do anything I can to not be anywhere near the desert. But Emmanuel says go support him. I would, but I won't be here. I literally won't be here. Oh, now I'm depressed. Next month is June. The rainbow spam is about to be unreal. I just noticed. Yeah, it's coming very quickly. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. 7 days, you know, like the ring roll. I will say that I did notice that Palm Springs did not have anything in Target. They didn't have a Pride section out at all, and that was pretty interesting. I'm thirsty. They didn't have a Pride section out, so that's good. Not even 7 after the holiday it will start. Oh, true. Good point. I'm surprised they're even waiting after what am I trying to say? Oh, Memorial Day. I was trying to remember what holiday it was. Yeah, so I'm surprised because they don't. They didn't last year. And Target's not the only store I'm going to go after. I'm going to go after Walmart. I need to go after PetSmart for having a gay section for dogs. Are you kidding me? Probably because gay people rape their dogs, to be honest. That's why they did that. Just like how conveniently it is that gay couples have a high percentage of adopting male babies. Why is that? Because it seems like the correlation to that is how they sexually assault them. So that's a huge issue that we probably need to deep dive into. I could just ruthlessly, I would do it. I'm telling you, you guys know me. I would do it. I would go down to Palm Springs. I would stand on the damn street and sit there and ask people, what do you think it is about gay couples that adopt little babies who happen to be boys? What is it about that you find suspicious? And they'll be like, and I'll be like, well, I'll tell you. article of all these gay men assaulting their children. I don't know what you want me to say. They just do that. And people are starting to recognize like a pattern here. It's very obvious. I remember when you went viral for going after Target. Yes, and let me tell you, that is not going to be. That was not the. That was the first store, but that won't be the last store. I need like Macy's or J.C. Penney's to do some like dumb shit or something that I can go after. I don't know. We have options. There's no point in going after like, I don't know, like a Hot Topic or like a Hollister. Although they were smaller, so they'd be easier to take down. So my goal is to take down like all of them. I'm after every. If you're a store and you sell gay shit, I'm after you. I've got my eye on you. You're not safe. They literally last year, I had no idea this was even going on because by the time I knew the backlash that Target had gotten, I was off the internet because people were trying to kill me and my family. Basically, Target was apparently getting like bomb threats, and then they blamed me for it. They literally blamed me, and I'm like, I don't have control over what people do. I don't care. First off, that sounds like a you problem because actions have consequences. And if you're going to sell gay stuff, you better be ready for the repercussions of that. Second of all, maybe that is how you say it. Second of all, now it just doesn't sound like a word. Maybe people don't like gay shit. I can't do anything about that. I can talk about it all I want all day. But those people who don't like it are not my responsibility. My responsibility is what I do. And I was not sending bomb threats to Target. So that's all I care about. That's like something that their PR team or their HR team needs to really worry about and fix themselves. Walmart only ever goes viral for some pander BS like Juneteenth, which is also next month. I hope they give us a new meme. Juneteenth. Isn't that like Black History Month squished down into one day? First off, why? And if you really think about it, now we have to deal with this crap like every single day, every single month of the year. If it's not Black History Month, it's Juneteenth. If it's not Juneteenth, or I guess Juneteenth is with Pride Month. Now you have black people and gay black people. All of them, they're all getting celebrated. Like, that's literally, there's only, I don't know. I get so heated about this stuff and then I just run out of words. So bear with me. Phil said, that is how I found you. I was like, okay, if they hate her, she must be awesome. Do you think I'm awesome, though? Do you think I'm awesome? Because that's all that matters. I think I'm pretty awesome. I think when I have my head screwed on straight on the days that I'm functioning correctly, I'm pretty awesome. Not to toot my own horn or anything, but, you know, I try my best. But, yeah, no, I felt like an idiot, though, because I was, oh my God. You know, I was cracked out this morning because I had this new, like, espresso coffee that we had. Very yummy. Very good. But it really makes you crash after a minute. Thank you, Phil. Dude, Phil is the best. Nope, LOL. January 1st was when my race was freed. They used Juneteenth as the day for no real reason other than the last slaves found out they were free. January 1st. Wait, isn't that like New Year's? They used Juneteenth as a day for no real reason. Wait, okay, so I don't want to sound ignorant, which sometimes I do. So I'm gonna look up what is actually celebrated. What is Juneteenth? How do you feel? Okay, Paso. How do you feel New Year's and the day the slaves were freed? Oh, wow. I didn't know that. That's a great way to start the year. Like, honestly, I'm not trying to be sarcastic. I hope, like, see, so I think about the things that I say sometimes, and I really hope that, like black people or, you know, anybody who genuinely, like, likes me or is Republican or conservative, Like, I hope they don't hate me for the things that I say about the other side and their whole thing. Because, like, we interviewed this beautiful couple yesterday, and they were like an older Black couple. And they were Christian. They were going off on how Pride Month is a sin, and they do everything biblically. And I'm like, I love these people. These people are not what I'm talking about when I'm referencing the atrocities that are happening in like South Dallas and Chicago and like all of these places. So like I'm very inflammatory on social media and on places like X, but at the end of the day, like on here, like I just want people to know, like I don't care. I literally don't care what your skin color is. I literally don't care. Like that's not what matters at this point. It's all being on like the right side of history. And so I'm always afraid that people who do support me are going to think that like I hate them when I'm not even talking about them, you know? Because at the end of the day, you're not grouping everybody into one big bubble. There's multiple bubbles. Too many bubbles that we should honestly pop. Okay. But let's see. Things to know. The importance of Juneteenth. Federal holiday, Juneteenth. I keep getting chills. June 19th. Okay, good. Oh, look who signed it. Oh, in Texas, really. On June 19th, 1865, over 250,000 enslaved people in Galveston, Texas, received news of their emancipation, marking a significant milestone in American history. The pivotal event commemorated the birth of Black Independence Day, a celebrated embrace by African Americans across the nation. So you want to know something that I don't understand? Is that if we're all supposed to be American, why do we have to have Black History Month? Why do we have to have, I guess, Black Independence Day? Why do we have to have a Black national anthem? Why the American or the national anthem isn't the white national anthem, is literally the American national anthem. Asso says blacks hate me, but I'm still their color. Not anything like most of them mentally. Exactly. And there's always like, what is it? Like the silver lining, is that what it's called? Or like there's always good people mixed in with the bad people. That's just how it is. So yeah, why do we have Black Independence Day? Why can't we just have Human Independence Day or American Independence Day? Why do we have to have Black History Month? Why can't we just have History Month and all of the History Month be like the last, or be every 12 months because, or all the 12 months or however many every month? What am I trying to say? I don't even know. But you get what I'm saying. Most of the Black History Month, as far as the faces we praise, were all frauds in their own right. MLK, Rosa Parks. Yeah, was it MLK? Didn't he watch somebody get raped? Not even lying. Rosa Parks, did she even say no? I mean, I remember having a whole day in school learning about that. But did she? Did she say no? I have a lot of Nigerian friends and they do not care for a lot of American blacks. See, that's another thing is like if you so I had this friend in high school and he was Nigerian and his parents were like by the book Nigerian and they did not act at all like how black people act in America. And so I respect the fact that in other countries where the African American religions, oh my god, races live, other than Africa's kind of struggling. They still do the whole mud hut things. But, you know, like Nigeria, for example, is a great example of blacks. And correct me if I'm wrong, and somebody's going to see this and be like, no, it's not. But, like, they seem to have their heads on straight when it comes to, like, discipline and this and that and the other. And so, plus this dude was, like, rich as fuck. Anyways, Rosa Parks actually stole all of the stuff Claudette Calvin did and legit only got praised because she was lighter. Nothing she did was real, all planned. Holy crap. You know what? Okay, guys, let's do this for a second. Because the next stream that I do, which is going to be on Tuesday. So the reason that I streamed Monday and Friday this week was because Tuesday we were going to see the Hardy concert and Thursday was Ryan's birthday. So Tuesday next week, we are going to deep dive into all of the things that history taught us that weren't actually real or were heavily swayed in a way that made them false. Does that make sense? Rosa Parks wasn't the first one. Ida B. Wells was, and no one knows her. Hey, I recognize that name because something about history class we had to learn about her. Parks was the third Ashley who did not give up her seat. Plus, Cadet Calvin had a kid not long after. Keep in mind, northern Nigeria is Muslim and southern is Christian. Just saying, there's a big difference. Ah, good point. Okay, so Tuesday's stream, we're going to talk about how Rosa Parks was a fraud. We're going to talk about how MLK liked to watch people get raped, I guess. I'm just going to put rapist. We're going to talk about how Helen Keller wasn't real. Not real. Like that bitch on the plane. That also doesn't exist anymore, apparently. Because the girl that's famous now is definitely not the same woman who was on the plane. But she's like, that motherfucker is not real. You know what I'm talking about? Everybody's seen that video. It was in Dallas. Sounds good. I am a history professor, so if you ever need help. Dude, yes. Okay, so does that mean you're going to think I'm crazy if I start talking about how the Holocaust was, like, heavily manipulated? Because I think it was, along with all of these other things that we're listing. So Rosa Parks, MLK, Helen Keller, Holocaust, which is going to be a huge one that everybody's going to get very upset about. What else? Rosa Parks, MLK, Helen Keller, Holocaust / Hitler. Did he actually kill himself? Who knows? What other ones are we missing? 9/11. 9/11 is great. Not what happened, but I mean, fuck, somebody's gonna clip that. 9/11 is a great topic to talk about. All I know is he did drugs. Swung, let's say, on his wife. From what I know, the only good thing in his family is his family are more right-leaning. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Okay, so beat his wife, did drugs. George Floyd. George Floyd. Did you guys see? I couldn't tell if this was real or not, but they came out with a like a documentary, or they're coming out with a documentary, basically talking about like, I guess making him look good. I guess fuck if I know. I don't even know. I'm gonna create a space on Twitter real quick so other people can come join in. Crowder did a big thing on King. I can't talk about 9/11. Lost too many. Okay, that's fair. I think that day is very fucked in so many ways, and I think that no matter what each person in the world thinks actually happened that day, I think we can all agree that it was absolutely terrible. You know what I mean? Like, people obviously have, you know what? Hold on. Pause. The moon is, or not the moon. The moon's not real. Earth could be flat. Earth flat? Question mark? I promise I'm not a flat earther. I don't really care what shape the Earth is because it doesn't matter because I'm never going to see it. So I don't think it matters. Live on Rumble, YouTube, Twitch. Kaylee Campbell, or Kaylee, oh my gosh. What's your point? Start now. Most of the time people don't really join, but I like how I can have this sitting here on the off chance that somebody does join. That way they can just join it and listen because everything that I'm saying on here, they'll hear on here. Okay, so OMG, his day is coming up as well. Whose day? Oh, Martin Luther King. Alexa, when is Martin Luther King Jr. Day?
Martin Luther King Jr. Day will be on Monday, January 20th, 2025.
That's January. That's in January. Oh, George Floyd. Yeah. Alexa, when's George Floyd Day?
Sorry, I don't know that.
Yeah, neither do we. Alexa, what day did George Floyd die?
George Floyd was a 46-year-old restaurant security guard who was killed May 25th, 2020, moments after being arrested by Minneapolis police. A video of the arrest showing Officer Derek Chauvin pressing his knee into Floyd's neck circulated widely and led to protests throughout the United States.
That's a friggin' joke. Wait, so when did he die? Alexa, when did George Floyd die? What day? I wasn't listening.
According to an Alexa Answers contributor, George Floyd, an African-American man,
my God.
died as the result of police brutality in Minneapolis, Minnesota on May 25th,
Tomorrow?
2020.
Oh no. May 25th. You guys know all those memes that they make every year where it's like, what is it? George Floyd hasn't shot a pregnant woman in the last, 4 years. That's crazy. Happy George Floyd Day, I guess. Which is just goofy. Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong, because we'll have a lot to talk about by Tuesday if I'm actually going to focus on all of these topics. Rosa Parks, not real. MLK, not real. Helen Keller, not real. Holocaust, not real. 9/11, real, but questionable. George Floyd, not real. Earth flat, who cares? That's all we're going to discuss. I thought it happened like 31st. I guess the riots lasted so long it felt like that happened that day. Okay, but low key could be Mandela effect. We could be getting Mandela effect. Yeah, you know what I mean? Who knows? I mean, I honestly don't remember at all. That's so crazy. What's tomorrow? Saturday? Tomorrow I'm going to the farmer's market. I will not be thinking about George Floyd. I will not be commemorating George Floyd. I will be at the damn farmer's market buying flowers and fruit. Do they still have a statue of him? Do you guys know? Alexa, do they have a statue of George Floyd anywhere? They do, don't they?
According to an Alexa Answers contributor,
Many?
there is a George Floyd statue in New Jersey and one in New York City.
Are you shitting my dick right now? Are you kidding me? No way. George Floyd. Arrow. Statues? This is how I take notes. It helps. It helps keep my brain organized. Oh man, you guys don't want to hear my opinion on Helen Keller. Fraud. She didn't fly a plane. Who's that other girl? Amelia Earhart? She flew a plane and then she just disappeared. Did they ever find her? Alexa, did they ever find Amelia Earhart? Or did she just end up in the Bermuda Triangle? All that for a drug overdose. Great point. Exactly. That's a load of crap, let me tell you. Honestly, I find that so insane that they just obliviously ignore everything that played out before his death, and then they just still choose not to listen to the experts and the doctors and this and that. Phil said no. I forgot what I asked, to be honest. I feel like I'm having my second wave of espresso come through. 10 billion raised, and 4 years later, blacks got nothing from the riots. Exactly. That's another thing. So, oh my gosh, this is what I should have titled the whole stream. So I found it very interesting that I was arguing with somebody on X earlier about, let me pull it up to be specific. Basically, she was arguing with me because I implied that the black community basically is okay with defending rapists and criminals, and let's see. And it's kind of like, for some reason, that's what they do, and then they wonder why they're that was so weird. I swear Ryan just walked in. Or maybe somebody just walked into my house and then walked out, because I didn't even look. That's so funny. Oh my god. Amelia? Who's that? This lady's arguing with me about Jews. That's a whole thing. Ooh, I'm not gonna include the whole war going on right now, because that's a video within itself. Okay, so this is an important topic that I really wanted to touch on, to be honest. Replies. I'm gonna find it. It just seems to be like a very common trend. And the thing is that I truly believe that African American communities in America need to be helped. But the thing is that they're very heavily targeted by I guess the government. The government is not their friend either. Like, as much as they want to think like food stamps and this and that. Okay, I found it. So she was arguing with me about plane missing, Bermuda Triangle, it's past, moving on. Yeah, pretty much that. So let's see. I tweeted, the black community is so quick to defend rapists and criminals, and then they wonder why their communities are a ghetto wasteland. Yeah. So I said that because for some reason, we were talking about the Kaylee Gaines situation where Kaylee Gaines attacked Marnice or whatever her name was, attacked her because they were like beating each other up. And like this Marnice is like twice the size of Kaylee. And she beat her up so badly that Kaylee ended up in the hospital with brain damage and she had to have part of her skull removed. And all the black people on Twitter are like, she was just defending herself. It was just self-defense. But how much damage can a tiny little white bitch do to somebody who's twice her size? I tell this to Ryan all the time when we're play fighting. I'm like, you don't need to exert all of your strength onto me. I'm small. So why would Marnice need to be acting like an absolute animal and beat her skull into the ground? And so I said that, essentially. And then I said, here's proof that white privilege doesn't exist, because Kaylee Gaines' attacker won't be tried as an adult after the evidence of bullying emerged. Who gives a fuck? Maybe they should be bullied. Honestly, bullying builds character. Now, she replied to me and said, the privilege was her getting away with bullying and fighting for a while. Privilege is calling in to get Marnice's GoFundMe shut down. I said, why does Marnice need a GoFundMe? She doesn't need a GoFundMe. What the hell? She's not in a hospital. She's probably eating a fucking cheeseburger. So I said, Marnice doesn't need a GoFundMe. She said, nor does Daniel Penny then. He received $2.8 million just for choking a black man to death. Privilege. I said, where did my other tweet go? I said, defending other members on the subway from getting attacked by an estranged, violent, homeless man. That's what he was doing. I don't remember the guy's name, but Daniel Penny was protecting the other passengers on the plane from that crazy guy who has a violent record in the past. And he was literally, and I'm gonna stand up for this dude. One, because he was a Marine, and don't even get me fucking started on how the government treats the people who were prior service members. Don't even get me started on how the government treats their active duty service members. That's a whole other video that I'm counting down the days until I can make. Believe me, because it's going to happen after what is it? The 29th, it'll happen. They will do a 10%, maybe 15% boost for Trump and then go right back to 90-10 in 2028. Yeah, it seems to be like a constant thing alternating. So she spelled choking wrong, so I corrected her. I said, choking, get a proper education. She said, get on the right side of history. Working on my master's, a proper education. That's actually a terrible comeback, because we all know that just because you get your master's degree doesn't mean you're getting a proper education. Dumbass. Literally dumbass. So then I tweeted, the black community is so quick to defend rapists and criminals, and they wonder why their communities are ghetto. I mean, if you're constantly defending people like George Floyd, you're constantly defending people like whoever Daniel Penny killed, like if you're constantly defending the people that, I mean, honestly, the people that Kyle Rittenhouse shot weren't even black. They were white. And they happen to be pedophiles and women abusers and rapists. So it's like, why are the liberals, why are the Black communities constantly defending the same people that destroy their own communities? They have the highest rate of fatherless homes. They have the highest rate of violence in the country. 13% of the population commits 50% of the crime. Fun fact, if you go to ChatGPT and you ask them if you have a group of cattle and 10% of the cattle is like not behaving, what's ChatGPT going to tell you to do? You have to identify the problem and get rid of the problem in order to have a proper solution. Thank you. That's just how it is, whether people like to admit it or not. It just be like that, I guess. So I responded with her to that, and then I said, this you. And then she said, defending or stating facts. I don't approve of violence. It was a plan for some communities to look like that. Don't play dumb now. Was it a plan? Yes. She has a point there. You want to know why? Because things like how they planned conveniently to place Planned Parenthoods in low income areas to encourage places where they know that their people are going to like run into this issue are going to happen in order to create business. That's the stuff that happens. That's very, very scary. And that is another issue that I feel like it's not even just leftists, but low income communities should acknowledge and want to be against. Like, the right is not against trying to get you help and getting you a better place. We just want you to have a job. We want you to have an income. We want you to pay taxes. We want you to be legal, and we want you to be a voter, and we want you to be on the right side of history, and we want you to be like a civil American citizen. Like, that's not too much to ask for. But if you're not doing that, then I think America has every right to either disperse you, separate you from society, or kick you out. You don't belong here if you're going to behave that way. That's just how it is. Marquise Love was like the start of when everyone turned on BLM, I feel. He still only got 2 years. Marquise Love. Who is that? Oh. Marquise Love sentenced to prison after pleading guilty of assault, Portland, Oregon. 20 months sentence, pleading guilty to assault in third degree. Riot. The resolution in this case resulted after months of somebody joined the space. See, I'm not even paying attention to it over here. I'm just talking, and if somebody joins the space, then they'll hear whatever we're talking about on the show. Through the case, the mold, I don't even know how to pronounce that. County District's office communicated with, wait, so what? Did I totally miss this? Portland. I know it happened there. Who was brutally assaulted. Marquise Love, who brutally assaulted. Dude, you can always rely on Reddit to really give you the actual story of what happened. Marquise Love, who brutally assaulted the driver in Portland, is discovered to have been part of another brutal assault on a white man. Let's talk about how the Black community didn't even acknowledge what that happened during Christmas. It was that guy who drove through the crowd of people. What was it called? He drove through an entire crowd of people, like elderly people, and killed them during a Christmas parade. Can somebody tell me what that was? Paso, fuck. I'm going to keep saying Paso by accident. Yes, they still don't know Margaret Sanger hated our kind and wanted to end our race with abortion. Even in the grave, she has like 20 mil plus Black babies gone since the 60s. And that's sad. That is so sad. And I don't think any like conservative in their right mind is okay with that, because it doesn't matter about what race the baby was. Nobody wants babies to be slaughtered. Nobody wants babies to die. Nobody wants any of that. Rashad Crenshaw asked, do you do debates? I mean, I can. I've done one before against some transgender who literally labeled me as the worst transgender on like TikTok or something like that. Charlottesville, yes. So why is it that these people can really sit here and acknowledge like all of the crimes that white people do because they feel like they can blame white people for the way that their own kind behaves, yet they just don't acknowledge the fact when their own kind does the same thing because it's okay because they're the ones that did it. Like, that just blows my mind. Waukesha Christmas parade attack. Exactly. And didn't that man outright say that he hates white people? Didn't he have like a manifesto or something? Because I find that pretty interesting that he just chose not to I don't know. I mean, didn't they? Hold on. Maybe I'm getting that mixed with a different story. Waukesha parade attack. There it is. What kind of town name is Waukesha? Daryl Edwards Brooke Jr. drove a SUV through the annual. That's fucking crazy. He killed 6 people and injured 62. That is insane. That's insane. Oh my god. That's not even the first time I've heard of that. So Brooks pled not guilty to 6 counts of first-degree intentional homicide. Why did he plead not guilty? He was literally in the fucking car driving it. And 70 additional charges. Wow. He chose to represent himself at his trial. Idiot. That's your first move, you freaking dumbass. Which began on October 3rd, 2022. Brooks presented pseudo-legal arguments from the sovereign citizen movement and was repeatedly removed from the courtroom for failing to comply with decorum and courtesy. On October 26th, a jury found Brooks guilty on all 76 charges. On November 16th, he was sentenced to 6 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole, plus an additional 762.5 years to be served consecutively. So could somebody from like the legal system tell me what is the point? What is the point of like sentencing somebody to 700 years when we know they're not going to live that long? Like, you can say life, and I think that would just make the entire legal system so much easier. Life, no parole, you're never getting out. We'll lock you in a specific building where you don't see the sun ever again, and you drink water and you eat grits for the rest of your life. That is what we need to be doing in the justice system. If you commit any heinous felony crime, lock them away. They don't see the light of day ever again. Who cares? They die. They go to heaven. They go to hell. That's not my problem. I'm not here to play God. They fuck up in the world and they get sent off to another place and they can face their justice when they die. Why is that so hard for other people to understand? It would be so much easier if somebody fucked up, made a bad mistake, and yeah, we could say, oh, you know, probably like selling drugs is bad and they deserve a second chance, and yeah, sure. But let's see, murdering somebody, raping a child, driving through a group of people, probably those things, probably, I don't know, maybe probably don't, those people don't deserve to be out in public ever again. So I don't really believe in second chances when it comes to that. You don't do any of the things I just listed and then suddenly like turn your life around. I don't care. Sometimes you just are a bad person and you deserve to be locked away and you can't change my mind. So that's where the death penalty comes in, and you can either kill them, and if they were innocent, boom, heaven. If they were guilty, boom, hell. Done. Boom, done. It is so much easier. We don't need all these tax dollars going to people to fund their fucking meals in prison. I have all the solutions. I'm literally a genius and I have all the solutions. It's really not that hard. If people would just ask me. I have an answer to literally everything. And maybe that's me being narcissistic, and maybe that's me being egotistical, and that is fine by me. I don't really care. Phil said because some of the charges he may appeal and win, so that would take time off. See, but I don't even believe in that. I literally don't believe in that. I remember that one place, the one small block or few, they called it a city, and so many blacks were being hurt. Let's say they're the autonomous zone. Totally forgot about that. I remember that one place. Maybe am I not reading that correctly? A few. They called a city and so many blacks were being hurt. Let's see there. Oh, interesting. Have you heard of WIC TV? No, I have not. I agree. It should be life with no parole, period. Yeah, I think, like, first off, I wanted to go to law school, but I wanted to go to Columbia so bad. And what the heck was that? I just don't think I could face myself going to Columbia in general. But it's funny because I act like I have the willpower to change the entire justice system. And, you know, knowing me, I wouldn't stop until I did. But I would just completely be like, nope, I don't care what was written 5, 10, 20, 60 years ago. That's not how it's going to work in my house. Like, I would literally be like that. And I would probably be the most annoying person to work with because I just don't agree. And if I don't agree, I'm not going to go along with it. That's probably one of my biggest flaws and my biggest, I don't know, things I like about myself. I don't know. It makes sense to me. But no, I don't know what Wick TV is. Aha. Well, I found their YouTube channel. Does that count? Whoa. Brings you a cross-ideological debate space where certainty comes to die. He moderates panels of 6 guests on current political discourse and hosts regular call-ins with guest streamers. Not bad. That doesn't sound too bad. You know what else is funny? Oh wow, Scunter, here you are. A whole hour late. Welcome to the stream. Hi.
Hi.
Did you come in earlier and then go back out?
Yeah, I grabbed the keys. I was going to check them out.
Oh, that's so funny. Because I was convinced somebody just entered the house and then like saw me streaming and left. I'm not kidding. David Dorn. Hey Rosie, do you mind?
Yeah,
No, I was telling her that.
I know. She does. She minds.
Oh. I can get you in contact with Wick. That'd be cool. David Dorn, etc. It's like no good with BLM. They're about to praise the 4th year anniversary of this shit too. I'll be back outside in July. Yeah, true. I feel like it's not even worth going out in public. June is like the worst month, and they literally took one of the best months, summer, and absolutely obliterated it. I can get you in contact with Wick. I don't think we agree on anything, but I think you do good on debates. I appreciate that. That's the whole point, is that we may not all agree on everything, but you know, the debate is worth it. Scunter, do me a favor and comment the links to my social medias because we're supposed to have that, but if we don't, it's fine. And have him message me. Basically, I can't comment on my own live chat, and I think that's absolutely goofy. If you want, you can do... Am I able to, like... Can you guys still hear me? There's my social medias if you really, really, really want to see them. That's my social medias. I thought your Pookie Bear Will was going to make a command. Well, Will's not even watching, first off. Second off, why did you call him that? And thirdly, no. I can't comment. Like, I literally, it's not like Twitch where I can just go in the chat and comment. It's goofy. That's like their biggest flaw. Unless I'm totally missing something. That's why you guys made fun of me the last time I went on my Rumble and did that. Oh my gosh. Okay. As long as you guys can hear me. L platform. No, it's actually great. Oh my god. Is Kick free to stream from multiple platforms? You tell me that. Because I literally have no energy to... I have no energy to learn yet another platform to try and do. I have no brain capacity. My brain is about to explode. My forehead cannot get any bigger because my brain, it cannot get any bigger. Sorry. If it does, then I'm going to look like fucking Megamind. I don't want that. I don't want that at all. But Scunter, if you weren't watching earlier, we found an amazing topic to talk about on Tuesday, and we're going to talk about all the fake things in the world. So everybody who joined, who wasn't listening before, Tuesday is going to be a great stream, because Tuesday we're going to talk about how Rosa Parks isn't real, MLK wasn't real, Helen Keller is definitely not real, the Holocaust was questionable, 9/11 was real, but the way that it played out was wrong. George Floyd, not real, total psyop. Earth flat, maybe. Who knows? Who cares? That's what I said earlier. Basically, I didn't want to focus on the Holocaust, 9/11, and the Earth because I think the people that matter right now are Helen Keller, MLK, and Rosa Parks. And about everything else that we can open a history book and be like, that's probably not what actually happened at all. Same with like the thing with the horse and like the Oregon Trail and all that other crap that just kind of blended in every time we went to class. I don't know. Dude, I miss high school. I wish I would have been like this when I was in high school because 1, I feel like I would have made more friends, and 2, I definitely would have been more social, and 3, I would have had debates in class. Like, I was such a freaking loser. I definitely will never be able to say that I peaked in high school because I was at my lowest. I was at my absolute lowest in high school. I'll tell you that. Yeah, see, fuck Helen Keller. Oh my gosh. I could fight her in an octagon for 1,000 years. That is literally not it at all. I don't think you'll be able to be doing much fighting there. Bro, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Because I know exactly what I'm talking about. Everything I just said made total sense. There's a lot of people that peaked in high school, and I was not one of them, and I'm very glad about that. I would say that I'm at my peak right now, and that's because I'm a wife and a mom, and what I do on social media is pretty freaking cool if you ask me. So I've had a lot of fun. Dude, I'm missing everybody's replies right now because everything that they're saying just doesn't make any sense. You know what I really want to do? I want to gather up all of the books that people are saying are banned and like review them. There's some that I've reviewed, and that leads me to the last thing that I was going to talk about, which is what's happening in a California school district. And I only learned these things, like, I wish I could be aware of what's happening in the districts around me, because you would not be able to stop my ass from pulling up to a what is it called? A school board meeting. That's what it's called. I don't have kids in public school, but you bet your ass I would show up front and center in any one of these meetings if I am made aware of what is happening in these schools beforehand. And so I feel like, 1, that would be a fun thing to do in Texas, but 2, I would absolutely love to, kind of like not go undercover, but just like infiltrate these school board meetings in like a non-ironic way and be like, what the fuck is wrong with all of you? Literally, what is wrong with all of you? So in Encinitas, which is south of Oceanside and south of Carlsbad, it's like this more red-leaning-ish city, which I said that earlier when we talked about red cities in that district, and it's really not the case. But the more you get to like La Jolla, the more you get to Encinitas, Carlsbad, all of these places are like retirement areas. There's like more resort type, low key, laid back feeling as opposed to Oceanside, which is like what? Oh, Oceanside, which is like very touristy. Scunter says Oceanside is a place from The Walking Dead. Are you stupid? No, are you stupid? Because Oceanside is where we literally were yesterday. So you're stupid. So basically, the school district there at one of the elementary schools, they had 5th graders. No, you're stupid. You're literally stupid. They had one of the teachers, I guess, get 5th graders. So we used to do this in elementary school. We would be in like 5th grade, and we would go read books to the 1st graders and the kindergartners and things like that. But now Encinitas ISD or whatever is having 5th graders read gay children's books to kindergartners. So this book is called My Shadow is Pink, and essentially what it talks about is this. Wow, okay. It essentially talks about like wait, stop, because I'm gonna notice that now. What do you mean reading to 1st graders? We were in 5th grade. Fuck you. Stop distracting me. So basically, after this was exposed, parents went to the school board meeting to address the book that was read to these kids. And the book is called My Shadow is Pink, and it talks about how this boy in the book is upset because his shadow isn't blue like the other boys, and his dad is pretty much like, all right, son, it's just a phase, like get a grip. And and you know, like he's basically gay. And they read it to kindergartners. What the hell, Encinitas ISD, what are you doing? So the teachers, let me get this straight, the teachers did not read it to the children. They convinced the children to read it to the younger children. So don't you find that a little bit more concerning that now not only are we having teachers indoctrinate children, but they are now having children indoctrinate younger children? And that is a huge, huge red flag that we're going to be seeing more of, because of the fact that they're getting exposed for what they're doing to children. So what are they going to do? They're going to have children do it to other children so that they can't be blamed for it. That's sick. That's sick and twisted and screwed up and disgusting. And I feel like we need to get a hold on that before that gets out of control, because we're going to be seeing that literally everywhere. It's crazy. The teachers are just as compliant in this indoctrination as they're trying to make the older children be. And there's no reason. And to top that off, yesterday when we were doing the interviews, and I mentioned that there were a few interviews that I couldn't post because my mic completely went out, we talked to this one lady who has a 7-year-old son who's in public school. And he came home one day asking her, hey, Mom, why can boys be girls and girls be boys? And she was like, well, where the hell did you hear that from? And he basically heard it on the playground because a bunch of kids were talking about it. And so essentially you can't, like, public school is not safe. Public school is not good. Public school is bad. Public school is dangerous. You don't know what your kids are learning, and you don't have control over what your kids are learning because the teachers don't want you to know. And if you thought that was bad and you thought, oh, okay, well, you know, my kids are at school, so I can't really do anything, like the teachers know best. Yeah, well, now teachers in Seattle are encouraging, I guess, students to do, nurses specifically, nurses in Seattle and probably Oregon and probably California and probably all the other states soon are basically administering gender hormone treatment shots in the nurse's office, for crying out loud, without parental consent. We've seen that in the past. We've seen doctors try to do that in the past. There was a 14-year-old girl who was taken away from her family because her family wouldn't conform to the stupid, twisted gender ideology. She convinced herself she was trans, and her parents didn't want to go along with it. So what did the government do? They took their kid. They literally stole their kid without a warrant. They came into the home without a warrant. They took their 14-year-old daughter out. Bye. So if you don't go along with it, they'll take your kids, they'll shoot them up with drugs in fucking public school, and they'll read them gay books and turn your kids gay and drug them and steal them from you. That is what the government does. They drug your kids, they turn them gay, and then they steal them out of your home. And you can't do a damn thing about it. Because God bless the USA, right? God bless the USA that we're growing up in now, that the Biden administration has pretty much amplified all of this. The gay people have amplified all of this. The BLM movement has amplified all of this. All of this degeneracy is just all good in the name of freedom, in the name of inclusion, in the name of diversity, and whoop-de-fucking-do, because now all your kids are kidnapped and gay and drugged. The end. And Scunter wasn't listening to what I was saying because, you know, he zoned out. But mark my words, if parents don't start to stand up for their children and they start to, like, not get involved, if they don't start getting involved in what's going on in schools, then their kids are going to get kidnapped from them too. It is impossible, or it's not impossible. It's literally happening. So it's impossible to sit by and allow this stuff to continue when you see it taking place in other states. And you're probably sitting here, and this is kind of like a message to other parents who are sitting there and they're like, well, this will never happen in my red state. Okay, well, it was literally in what? Montana that that girl was removed from their house. So yeah, it can happen because Montana is in the middle of buttfuck nowhere, right? And children are still getting removed from homes. Encinitas doesn't really count because it's in California, but still, you know, at the end of the day, even though there's like a heavily influenced blue area around everywhere that we are, there are still red districts in between. And if this is happening in red districts because they are in like, God, what's the word? Influenced by blue areas, then you're going to run into an issue and nobody is safe and your kids aren't safe and they'll continue to get drugged and they'll continue to turn gay and they'll continue to get kidnapped. That's literally what's happening. Oh my gosh. You forgot you forgot their new voting plaque across the wall if we had one. You forgot their new voting plaque across the wall if we had one. What do you mean? They're new. Who's new? Have you actually read all of those books back there? So back when I was working with a marketing company in Texas before I moved to California, and there was a website that we created and it had essentially this whole like list of all the books that were banned specifically in Keller ISD. And that oh my God. And that kind of just showed like a little bit of intel into the types of books because I'm so fucking sick and tired of seeing these old ass, creepy ass women like selling these books and being like, well, I'm a teacher and I don't think we should ban books. And I'm like, okay, then open the page to where the kid's like sucking another dick. Like that shit is on there. That shit's happening. And the content is in these books. And then your kid's going to go into the library and pull this shit off the shelf and start reading it, bring it home. And you're going to be like, what the hell? How did this get into my house? And it's because you put your kid in public school. That's literally why. Oh, block. Yeah, so I have my contacts in, but I'm still literally blind. No, I don't think I'm talking about Looking for Alaska, Skunter. I'm talking about that cartoon book. I could see how you saw black. There were voters who they wanted to replace blacks. They love Texas and Cali as their way to stay. Let me go back up. Ah, the new voting block. Yes. Okay, yeah, and I'll send you personal pictures of the oh my God. I'll send you pictures personally of the book pages that I'm talking about. Project 2025. Wait, I literally heard about this earlier. Sorry, the microphone's like on my throat. Maybe I should sit closer to my computer. What? Project 2025, also known as the Presidential Transition Project, is a collection of policy proposals to thoroughly reshape the U.S. federal government in the event of a Republican victory. Oh, yeah. Fucking wreck all of them. I don't want to get rid of that. Fucking wreck all of them. Take them all down. Absolutely obliterate all of them. For me, okay, well, I will when I will. And great point. I probably will deep dive into it. Dude, I'm not reading the pages. I'm just reading what the summary is. It's giving like, what is it called? It's giving, what's the word? Authoritarian vibes, okay? But hear me out. So hear me out because my opinion has changed on this slightly. So imagine, so we spent the last few weeks watching every Hunger Games movie from front to back, beginning to end. And at the end, everybody knows what happens. It doesn't matter who's in power because the corruption is still there. So hypothetically speaking, if we put somebody in power who happens to be more power hungry than they are for, if they happen to be more power hungry than they do care about the actual country, then of course we run into the same issue. Because somebody could literally be right-leaning if they're not like Christian, if they're not conservative, and they don't have conservative values, and they just like call themselves Republican. We all know that red and blue, like AP 530II said. Welcome to the welcome to the video. We all know that yes, so red, blue, bad. All bad. All bad across the board. They all care about the same thing. You see that in Congress. It doesn't matter who is what. They all argue. They all act like children. They all care about money. They all care about power and fame. And none of them actually care about reshaping the world. And that is probably why we could never have like a right-wing person. If a right-wing person replaced Biden, because that would be literally the same thing. Although, to be fair, Biden is like a robot and he doesn't really act very authoritarian. It's kind of just the people using him to do that. The Sunrise Group had a meeting. All government workers decided that if Trump won, they would riot until he was removed. I hope they just get like sprayed with bullets then. That's annoying. They planned January 6th as the date. This was in September or so of 2020. Everything is controlled by the Federal Reserve. Actually, I'll one-up you on that. Everything is controlled by the Jews. So probably the Jews own the Federal Reserve. But at the end of the day, the reason that Israel is our greatest ally is because guess who owns us? The Jews. America is not free. Freedom isn't free because freedom costs the fucking Jews. And Israel owns us. The Israeli government we're basically their bitch. Literally, we're their bitch. That's the best way to put it. And nobody wants to talk about that. And maybe that's something we could talk about in like Thursday. Maybe Thursday. Let me write this down in my notebook. Because I promised all you guys need to follow my Rumble account. There's like 19, there's like 20 of you who all need to follow my Rumble account right now. Because if you do, you'll get notified every single time I go live. And that's something that we'll talk about on Thursday. Who owns America? What was the point? I mean, like, there's just things. I mean, I could literally spiral off into a whole different conversation, but we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that because my last conversation was about the school boards and what is happening. Correct. I didn't want to say the J word in case your channel gets banned. Well, I would hope not, because if Nick Fuentes can go on here and talk about stuff on Rumble, then YouTube, questionable, because you are watching it on YouTube. I will say, AP530II, definitely head over to Rumble and subscribe to my Rumble channel, because I promise I won't get banned on there. YouTube is questionable. I haven't gotten anything on that yet. What is it called? Twitch, also questionable. Who knows? Rumble's the way to go, so definitely follow my Rumble channel. Anyways, I'm going to go because I have to make Rosie a bottle and put her to sleep, and Ryan has to go soon, which sucks. Because he has to work at nighttime, which I think is so dumb. Scunter, I will read it. I will breeze through it. I'll look for buzzwords. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I am gonna go live on Tuesday. Yes, Tuesday and Thursday, which is good. Well, back to my normal streaming schedule, which is awesome. So make sure to follow me on Rumble. Follow my social media accounts after I go, because they'll be at the bottom of the screen. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you want, but definitely subscribe to YouTube because I still upload there, but also head over to Rumble. Anyways, I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here and watching, and I will see y'all on Tuesday.